Hi, today is March 6, 2011. My name is James Leone, but that really doesn't matter. What you're here for is to find out how to get WebGL working in your Firefox 4. Now, obviously, over time, the solution may not work. But for now, in the short run, this will probably be a better, following these instructions will probably get you further than most of the Google search results that you're going to find out there. And so right now what I'm going to try to do is at least show what I've been able to accomplish. It isn't perfect, but I do see that I'm able to see the little web of wonder demonstration up there. Now, the system that I'm going to do right now in this video is OpenSUSE 11.3 64-bit, but there isn't going to be much of a difference between what I need to do here to get to work with what you might need to do in a 32-bit version of OpenSUSE 11.3, so it's worth your while to watch. Just remember, instead of having your Mesa libraries, which I'll get into, installed in the user lib64 directory, instead you're going to find that your Mesa drivers are in the user lib directory. They may not have the same version numbers, I'm not sure because I don't have 32-bit version installed here, but nonetheless the same principles will apply, and the configuration in Firefox 4 will be also mostly the same. So those are the basic three things you have to get it to work. And a relatively new video driver. You may have to have the proprietary driver installed. In fact, in my last 98 attempts to make this video, I've forgotten to check to see if I have those ATI drivers installed here. I do know that I have installed them in Ubuntu 10.10, but I digress. So, what you might, I'm also going to point out a few places where things absolutely go wrong. But hopefully I won't get so bogged down in details that I won't get to the point, and I want to get to the point, basically. Okay, so if you search for these terms, Firefox 4 and SuSE, you might find you'll get to this webpage, Test Driving Firefox 4, oh my god, SuSE. Click on that button, one-click install, it will not work. And I guarantee 99% of the time you see a one-click install, it won't work. Great idea on paper, very bad in performance. Don't even bother. Instead, what you need to do is you need to add the factory repository to your repositories list. And of course, this is in March 6, 2011. By May, that may not be at all. Firefox 4 may come stock installed with your distribution. They may have already made the tweak in the about config, I don't know, but nonetheless, this is what you have to do now, and this is what I'm going to tell you about. Okay, yeah, and I'm about 6 days away from the release of OpenSUSE 11.4, which may be completely different. Okay, so to get this thing installed, don't go here, don't go to the Firefox page. Instead, what you want to do is you want to go into your repositories lists. Ah, but James, how did you get there? Well, what you do is you open up YAST, and once YAST is open, go to Software, click on Software Repositories, the one at the bottom there, and then this will pop up. It won't have factory there, you have to add that. You click the Add button. Instead, I'm going to click the Edit button because I'm editing what I've already added. And then you put the following incantations in here. This is what I did. This is what you should do. I put a name. The name I used was factory. I used the HTTP protocol, and I put in for server name as download opensuse.org. And in the repository on the server, I chose repositories Mozilla /beta/SUSE_factory. Kept it as anonymous, clicked OK, all was good. Okay, done with that. Now, what exactly did I install? Because I already had Firefox installed. When you search for Firefox, not Firefox, but Firefox, it should say on the right, something in the area of 4, not of 3. That's that. Okay, then the next thing you have to have is Mesa installed. There it is. I have 7.8.2-1-3. That's what I have installed in there. Between that and Mesa, I'm ready to configure my Firefox 4 to be able to use WebGL, because it doesn't just come turned on. It sounds, it may sound like it does, but it doesn't. To do that, you go to about:config. Oh, also, let's see what kind of video drivers. Do I have the ATI drivers installed? Yes, I do. This is the proprietary ATI FGLRX driver. It's the kernel module. I have version 8.741 K2 dep 0.6 0.34 0.012 all this garbage. Anyway, so I have that installed. Now let's go back to Mesa, because there's one thing I need to point out. It's for future reference, really, because the location of this file might change over time. And it's also a good thing to know. So if I want to know what files actually get installed when this package is put on here, I click on the File List tab and go down to the one, if you can see it. My God, it's so okay. Yes, okay, so now we're actually able to see some of this. Let's see if I can get to user lib 64, open Mesa. This one right here is the file that I made note of, and I even copied. So when I went into Firefox 4, typed in the filter WebGL to narrow down just to things that apply to WebGL, I looked for the one that's called WebGL.os Mesa lib, right clicked on it, selected modify, and I pasted in the name of that file, and I said OK. After I did that, that was the first time I was ever able to get the WebGL demonstration on the webpage I'm going to show you now to ever work. So hopefully I can go now. I'll just tell you right now, this demonstration causes my web browser to freeze, so yeah, I'm not very impressed with it. I am impressed with the ideas behind it, but I'm not really impressed with, the way it's performing now. This is really, at this stage, it really isn't worth feeling you're missing out on much of anything, because the features just are really choppy at best. Okay, so let's go here. The web page I'm talking about is called Web O Wonder. The demonstration I'm talking about is Remixing Reality. Now, the way I got there, in case this doesn't come up immediately, when you go to Web O Wonder, I clicked on WebGL, and then I scrolled through the different things until I got to Remixing Reality. Okay, so clicked on this, and the first sign that I had that I knew it was working is that it didn't say there was no, before I made that change in about config, it would say that WebGL, there's no context of WebGL, so it's not going to work. Okay, now here's the basketball, and I guess if I just click play, it's going to supposedly try to do some demonstration here, but the demo just, as you can see, freezes, sound goes away, and then as you will be able to tell now, if I want to exit Firefox, or you'll eventually see. I guess this is worth showing because sometimes it doesn't even respond this well. Not much, and it's kind of repetitive. If So if I click over to the spook here, the ghost will show up eventually. And of course, you can see that, you know, other more complicated applications can be applied to this. You know, and you can actually maybe run an application out of this in some way. There's the bird. Pressing pause does nothing. Well, I guess it did this time. Let's see if I can actually get out of here. You can see my browser is completely unresponsive. Or not really immediately responsive. Okay. Other times it was completely unresponsive. Okay, so that's it. So anyway, so I've got the 64-bit system. It's a little different, but that's it. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to go into Ubuntu 10.10 and try to enable it over there. I tried for a couple hours last night, but instead of just changing that one setting, I tried monkeying around with the other two settings. You know, I don't even remember what they were. But if you do a search in Google for WebGL and Firefox 4 and Linux, you're going to find those other two settings that didn't have anything to do with me enabling that at all. Another thing that may have affected my experience earlier is I had the 32-bit version of Mesa also installed on my system. It came as a dependency of Acrobat Reader, and what I'm unclear of with right now is whether there is no 64-bit version of Acrobat Reader for Linux out there, or if I just installed the wrong one previously. I'm not sure, but I guess I can find out. Let's see. No, there's only one 32-bit. Once I check this and I say accept, this 32-bit will install. It may or may not have make it choppy and unresponsive. I don't know. I'm going to cancel this. I can do without, in this case, I can do without Acrobat Reader, maybe. If I could find some more useful ways of using the fancy demonstration that was there. Anyway, for now I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to go and do the one for Ubuntu.